Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and yes, I am in my car. You guys are getting a car video today because it's just really busy, and I want to make a video to answer a few questions that I got in last night's video. However, I am out at a rehearsal, and I really worked all day, and I just don't have time to go into the garage tonight and make a video. If I did, it'd be really late tonight. So you guys are getting a car video between me doing a bunch of stuff. So I just got where my rehearsal is, and so I'm just sitting here in my car. So I wanted to answer some questions. And I got 3 questions that I wanted to address. And once again, because I'm kind of doing this off the top of my head, I totally forget who asks these questions. So hopefully the people that ask the questions will be happy that I answered. I'm sorry, I don't remember who asked what. The first question I got asked yesterday was, what are my thoughts on the SCAR 17? Now, of course, we know what the SCAR rifle is, and I personally have a SCAR 16. I am not a big fan of the SCAR 17, and I know people right now are going to be like, I can't believe that, you gotta like the 308, it's the ultimate FN battle rifle, and I totally get it. It is a fantastic firearm from a construction, design standpoint. It's fantastic. However, it doesn't hold much of an interest for me because I'm not really that into 308 rifles or more powerful than like intermediate cartridges, just because the type of shooting and collecting that I do. If I was spending more time at shooting longer distance stuff, I might even go a different direction than the SCAR 17. For me, the guns that I consider carbines or fighting rifles chambered in full power rifle cartridges, I just kind of feel like they're overkill. I understand why they exist. I'm glad that they exist. I'm glad that people are interested in them. It's just like the AR-10 carbines or pistols that I have reviewed. They're definitely cool and they're definitely powerful, but for me, they don't hold much of an interest and they don't hold much practicality. Because if I was going to choose a gun to defend my home with, I'm going to get one in 5.56 or 300 Blackout or 7.62 by 39. 308 is just an overkill. For me, that is a cartridge designed for longer range engagements. And the type of uses that I'm going to get out of the guns that I will practically use just don't fall into that category, and I just don't need them. They're just heavier, so forth. So the SCAR 17 is a cool rifle, and I think it serves a purpose in the militaries and police forces that it's used in. If you're interested in that type of gun, I think it's great. I think it's well designed. It's well built. I have no problems with it whatsoever. But from my personal perspective, it doesn't hold much of an interest because it's not the type of gun that I'm going to invest in, because I'm not going to get that much enjoyment and shoot it all that often like I would the SCAR 16 in 5.56. That was first question. Second question I got asked is dealing with suppressor QD systems. Now remember, guys, all of this stuff is my personal opinion, and it's all based off of my experiences. I am not claiming that I have the definitive answer. I'm not saying that my way is the right way. I always feel like you guys should do you. If you like a particular system, like doing it a particular way, then you need to do that, okay? And don't feel ashamed about it and be proud about it. But the question is what QD systems do I like for suppressors? And this is probably going to disappoint some people, because the system that I use is whatever I need for the suppressor that I bought. I don't build guns or buy guns with the intent of having one system for all. I know that some people want to have, one suppressor that they can move from rifle to rifle to rifle. And so they're going to buy multiple muzzle devices and have, certain QD systems. For me, when I have a gun in mind, buy a gun for my collection, build a gun as a clone, I have a very specific suppressor that I want for it. And depending on the need of that gun, if it's a clone rifle, well, I have to get something that is clone specific, so my Mark 12s are going to have a very particular type of QD attachment, or really that one's thread on, but you guys know what I'm saying, a certain muzzle device. Same thing goes with my Mark 18s with like the Knights Armament NT4 style. I have a SIG Spear 556. It uses their new system. I have the older SIG system. I'm trying to think of any other QD systems in general I use. I think that's really about it. Most of the time, I actually prefer direct thread. I'm a big fan of direct thread. I know it's not the coolest. I know it's not the sexiest thing out there. But for me, direct thread is just the easiest. And part of the problem with QD systems is, you got to make sure that they're on there tight and that they don't get carbon locked. But when you have those QD systems, you can run into a lot of problems. And what happens if you decide to change suppressor platforms? Well, now you got to change all your muzzle devices out. And if you have, pistols that are pinned and welded, well, you got to change barrels out or get that thing cut off. To me, it's just all a nightmare. Just give me a nice direct thread suppressor and we are good to go. But as I said, I've actually had problems with some of the QD systems. The ones especially that use the kind of ratchet system, I've seen where they can get carbon locked if you don't take them off after shooting. And I'm not a fan of the QD systems that when they heat up, they actually stay on the rifle better. The taper lock stuff. Because let's just say you get done at the range, you're ready to go. Okay, I need to take my suppressor off to put it in the bag so I can get packed up. Oh crap, I have to wait for the suppressor to cool down so the taper lock isn't compressed so I can remove it. I'm not a big fan of that. Just give me direct thread. But to answer the question, I use whatever I have to use for that specific application. So I have no problem with any of them. I know there's some that are more popular than others, but that's what I like. The last question I got was, what are my thoughts on the new, I guess it's two guns from Beretta, the Beretta 30X Tomcat, which is in 32 ACP, and I just did a review on one. I did one on the standard, and I also own the tactical one. What is it called? The Covert in Flat Dark Earth. And the other one that they asked me was what I think about the Beretta 92, is it the XI GTS? Okay, so let's talk about the 92 first, okay? The Beretta 92 XI GTS, I'm not a fan of the way it looks. I think that Beretta is, I guess, compromising when it comes to the people that like the Taurus and like the frame-mounted safeties and things. So I think that's what they're doing. I don't like the look. I like the whole idea of the slide-mounted safeties. I just like to me, that's just what makes a Beretta. And so the frame-mounted safeties just don't interest me. So for me, I just go with the regular 92. The 30X Tomcat in 32, I think the Tomcat in general is a novelty. I think it's a cool gun. I like 32 ACP. I think the gun's a little bit too big for what it is. If you like the tip-up barrel stuff, I'm a big fan of going with the Bobcat, the one in 25 or the one in 22. Those I think are awesome. They're a perfect size. But for me, the Tomcat is a gimmicky gun. It's not a bad gun. I have no interest in it. And then when it comes to the new magazine release, where they changed it from the kind of like the heel area to the more traditional American placement of it. Now, if you are a fan of the old Tomcats, you're going to buy all new magazines. I don't think those magazines are compatible. So for me, they don't hold much interest whatsoever. They're definitely cool guns. They're well-built guns, just like I was talking about when it came to the FN Scar 17. Yeah, so they're great guns. They're going to be well-built. They're going to run well for you. They just don't hold as much interest for me. So I hope that answers questions. I think those are the three that I got that I remember. And I always want to answer the questions. And I think this is a perfect video for today because I got to go. As you can see, there were some people parking next to me because the rehearsal is going to start in 11 minutes. So I got to get this thing done. I got to go inside, get set up, and get ready to go. So, as I said, always ask me any questions, and I hope this stuff isn't too boring for you. And hopefully in some of the next videos where I'll be back in my garage, we'll talk about some other gun stuff, the stuff that I'm reviewing. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of time to go to the range tomorrow, and so I'll give you an update on that, on how some guns are performing. So there we go. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did I answer your questions? Were you wondering about those questions at all? And I guess that's it. So what's the word of the day? What's the word of the day? The word of the day, some of you guys are like to be really, really creative when it comes to the use of the word of the day. Some people just say the word of the day, and then some people try to use it in a sentence. So I think I'm going to try to make this one a little bit harder today. Let's see here. I'm going to look around here and see what's around here. I'm actually at a school in Coppell, Texas. So let me see here. I'm looking around. We got some... Okay. There's some people playing soccer over here on a soccer field. And I don't care about soccer. But you got to use soccer as the word of the day somehow in the comment, and I know that you watch to the end. You know, as they say, there's only two types of countries in the world. Those countries that love soccer, and those countries that have landed man on the moon and returned him safely to the earth. So there you go. That's how I feel about soccer, but you got to use soccer in the comment. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for joining me in the car, and thanks for watching.